Stay tuned at the end of the video for clips about the new updates and the Bandit Draft Challenge.
Hey everyone, what is up? Docstorm here with you again today. So today I want to show you guys a new deck. It's great because as you can see here, it uses no epics, no legendaries again. So this is my second deck of the series that I did with no epics, no legendaries. That way pretty much everyone is entitled to play this deck well because again, it doesn't cost a lot of money to use this deck. Now, one good thing too about this deck is that it is pretty much the new revamp of the Trifecta deck. So instead of using the skeletons and the Valkyrie, I'm using the Ice Golem and the Goblins. Now, ever since the Goblins got beefed up by not being able to be killed by an equal level zap, I believe that it is worth it to use the Goblin instead of the Skeletons just for the extra damage. As you can see here, it does 160 damage per second per Goblin, versus my skeleton only does 74 plus 7, so 82 damage. So there is quite a big difference in damage for that one elixir, and that survivability is what I'm counting on. So that is the main reason, but keep in mind the skeletons also got buffed to 4 skeleton count instead of 3. So again, it's up to you preference wise, but effectively this deck now costs pretty much 1 less elixir cost instead of the 2.9 elixir cost with the old Trifecta deck. So it's great because again, you know, the Trifecta deck we all know is weak against the air, but this one, because it costs less, it's quite powerful. So let me show you a replay against an air deck right here, and let's talk a bit about it. So again, in the beginning, usually you play pretty defensive like the traditional Trifecta deck. You don't want to rush as much, but you also have to see what's in your hand. My hand is pretty mixed right now, so it's good for offense and defense. So I opted pretty much to wait. So because they played the Mega Minion on the other side, I decided to rush the opposite lane because the Mega Minion, frankly, is very easy to counter by itself. But if the Mega Minion pairs with other things, it makes it harder. So, you know, that's why I just left the Mega Minion alone there while I rushed the other side and make my opponent commit elixir that way. So here again, just kind of, I'm pretty sure we're both feeling out which cards and units that we have. So because the elixir collector is played, I'm gonna do a pretty much strong rush here with my fireball ready. Now I had the opportunity to either send the fireball in for the barbs or for the elixir. I went for the elixir collector just because I already gotten that tower down. So I felt there was more value aiming for the elixir collector. So here I decided to play the goblins down anyways, just so I don't get damaged by my tower at all, because at this point in time, I'm playing defensive again, and I had elixir to use. So here, waiting, because again, you don't want to play your musketeer too early, just in case they have stuff to counter you. You want them to commit more elixir. So Ice Golem there just to help my musketeer tank, because usually a musketeer can survive an equal level fireball like that case there. So it provided a lot of value in terms of that. And I waited for that fireball so that it can damage some of the lava pups. But mainly I wanted to get the Inferno Dragon and the Electric Wizard. So not too bad, but that my damage is taking a big beating here. So again, I'm preparing for my next attack because again, I know, you know, you go by rotation, so if they just attack, it's technically your turn to attack, just how the cards play out. So here, why the Ice Spirit is, 1, buys my hog time, 2, it helps me cycle through my fireball to do some damage on the tower and also the barbarians. So just trying to get more value with the cards. So again, musketeer at the back because I had full elixir, and then cannon I knew I was going to play in the front top there. At this point, it seems like I'm in big trouble, which I am, and I played the Ice Golem a little bit too late, so my musketeer wasn't able to survive the fireball because it was damaged by the Inferno Dragon. So here again, I knew that tower was gone, so I'm just prepping for a defensive movement here, just so if I can clear this, I know I still have a chance of winning it. So here so far I'm doing okay. The goblins there literally just for distraction, especially for the Inferno Dragon. It is a level 2 legend right now, so you can't take it lightly. So again, Ice Golem there just to help tank. It's great that he played the Mega Minion and the Barbs because again, provides a lot of value for my Fireball there. So now I'm going for my Rush. I knew that this one had to count because not much time left, and if I couldn't win this one, my opponent would have rushed me pretty badly. But luckily, I was able to do enough damage and end the game there. So that was the Lava Hound. So as you can see, my opponent had a lot of air units. Double Dragon, Lava Hound, Barbs, Elixir Collector, and Mega Minion and Electric Wizard. So this deck, if you cycle properly, you can beat air decks. And usually I found with air decks, this is a very common outcome. If I do end up winning the game, it's usually 2-1 or sometimes rarely 3-1. It's rarely you only beat them 1-0. And it's rare that they beat you 1-0, to be honest. Another deck that is quite common and super powerful is this giant and witch composition with the balloon. But you know what? I'm going to show you one that's even more common I found. Is this one for some odd reason that's resurfacing with the Rage Giant and the minions. Again, a lot of air, so I'm going to show you this one instead. Now guys, if you want to see any of the other replays, leave me a comment below. Maybe I'll feature it in my future videos. Also, I'm sure you guys are aware that I am doing a giveaway. I call it unlimited giveaway because pretty much every 1,000 views, I'm going to give away a gift card. So pretty much the more views, the more gift card I am going to give out. Because again guys, I'm doing this channel not for the money. I actually do enjoy making these videos, so I do want to give back to everyone. As you might know, people that are doing YouTube, you don't really get a lot of money doing videos at all. So it's not something that a lot of YouTubers, like myself included, especially like small YouTubers like myself, for money. We literally just do it for the joy of it. So here again in the beginning, you just give a good sense of what units your opponent has. So that's one of the downfalls when you're under leveled, when you try to counter things. Like the Minion Horde there was level 12. My Ice Golem, I believe, is only level 8. So technically I needed like a level 9, level 10 Ice Golem for that. So they weren't able to do too much. There honestly was just cycling cards because again, look at me, I'm full Elixir already. That's one thing about this deck is it's great, sometimes you can cycle, but it's also not great in the sense that you can't really store Elixir until you need it. So here I could have Fireballed, but I opted to do the Ice Spirit, again just to rotate. Saving my Fireball because I know that I should probably use it for offensive reasons here. Now this is great because again, the Ice Wizard locks down to only one of my units, my musketeer, while my hog sneaks in to do some massive damage here. Really helped me with this game. So sometimes order of play matters more than you think. Oh, and guys, if you want to know like that, see, I used the Fireball for offense, but yeah, what I was talking about was if you guys want to know more about the giveaway contest that's happening this whole entire month, make sure you check the video in the description. I pretty much tell you all the easy contest rules to follow. There's really not much. Just want to make sure that people that are actually engaged get the prize. So it's great with the Fireball. When they clump together, you can really do some serious damage. Now again, splitting the goblins or any multi-unit is great against Sparky. So it's not anything new, but again, it's sometimes hard to do, especially when you're under pressure. So definitely practice. I did upload a video how to counter Sparky from before. Again, it's nothing new, so definitely check it out if you guys are still having trouble with Sparky. So here, all I'm trying to do is defend, 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 because again, this is a Trifecta deck. The strongest part of a Trifecta deck is defending. So here, because it's overtime, I use the Zap and also the Fireball to reset Sparky so that my hog can get that final hit. And there you have it. So again, guys, some of the weakness with this deck is for sure air still, but I did show you a video there against air. Other ones that are very common is like this minor deck here, the swarm type decks. Your zap is very important. If it's under leveled, it won't be able to zap the equal level goblins. Another thing that you might want to keep a note on with this Trifecta deck is the fact that the same weakness with this deck is with the old one. It's sometimes great where you can cycle through decks, but again, I do not have an Elixir Collector. I use the Fireball instead of the Elixir Collector, or Ice Spirit instead of the Elixir Collector. So then it's not your typical Trifecta deck. So it's not as good in storing Elixir in terms of that, for that purpose. So you have to sometimes take advantage of both lanes. That's the only similar difference. So in that first replay that I did, I took advantage of both lanes. When they commit on one lane, I just rush the other. So instead of being able to play the Elixir Collector down to store Elixir, you have to manage 2 lanes. Another thing you have to be careful about this deck is a lot of times you just can't win. You're literally there to make a draw in a game. So if you can see here, I remember playing, I had tons of draws, like many draws in a row. Like I had 1 draw there, 1, 2, 3 draws. Sometimes you just aim for a draw. That's the best thing you can do with this deck. So that's what you do. Because with a Fireball, well, with the composition of this deck, there's no surprise cards like the freeze card in my previous deck that I like to use. This deck goes with raw defense and offense, like a counter push approach. So again, if your opponent plays smart, technically it can counter your counter push also. And so you really need sometimes to just counter as best as you can and just reset the game and play again. So you need some patience when playing this game. So that's pretty much all I would want to say about this deck.
So now let's talk about the new cards that are coming out. The first one is the Bandit Queen. Now these cards are released in March 24th, but the draft challenge where you can get the Bandit Queen and these prizes, you can see each win you actually get something different. So it's not all or nothing. It's not like the last Ice Wizard challenge where you have to win 12. You still get the prize here. And as you can see, this Bandit Queen, you can get her starting from Friday the 17th, March 17th. That's when the challenge is going, so you can get it before it's released. So the special thing about her is she can dash to attack targets, and while she's dashing, she's actually invulnerable. She's actually invulnerable, so no one can touch her. So the only time you can touch her is when actually she strikes. Then you can damage her a bit. But luckily she doesn't have a lot of experience, so then you can still take her down. She can also dash through bridges, the middle section. I've seen that done before in one of the videos. Now the second one is the Night Witch. Now the Night Witch is like your regular witch, but instead of summoning skeletons, she summons bats, and bats are literally like flying skeletons, so there's same weakness, but they fly instead. And also the Night Witch is a melee target instead of the traditional witch where it shoots range and it's splash damage. So not this queen, but you can see that this queen costs 1 less to play, and it is a legendary. So it is very powerful. You'll see me talking about the bats next up, and you'll see how rigged it is. It has the advantages of air, so it's great for distractions like your Inferno towers and things like that. So let's talk a bit about the bats now. Now I think the most OP card out of the 4 cards I will be releasing is probably the bats. The bat is 2 to play, and it acts like pretty much the Minion Horde, but it's flying skeletons if you want to look at it that way, because if you look at the hit points and the damage per second, they are like skeletons, but it takes that advantage of it being air. So that's very, very crucial. And you can see the count is also 5 like the Minion Horde. So for 2 Elixir, I'm pretty sure these bats are going to be rigged as hell. So we'll see how Supercell responds to them once these guys are released. It's probably going to replace all your goblins, all your skeletons. Now, last but not least is this heal spell here. Heal spell honestly looks like a rage spell, the old rage spell, because it costs 3 Elixir to play, and it heals in a duration. So within the 3 seconds, it probably would have healed 500 something hit points per second in an area, and the area seems pretty decent like the rage spell. But again, I don't know guys, they've done a lot with the rage spell. This spell looks like just the opposite of a rage spell, and you know how rage spell isn't that popular. But that's pretty much the 4 cards that are coming up again in March 24th. You guys can get the Bandit though earlier from the draft challenge that will be coming out on Friday, March 17th. So guys, what do you guys think about these new cards? Which one's your favorite? Let me know in the comments below.
If you have any more questions, definitely leave it in the comments below and I'll try to answer as much as I can as usual. And guys, again, make sure you check out the giveaway. Again, it's just a thank you for everyone that's been supporting me for so long, or new supporters. I really, really appreciate all that you've done for me. Again, I hope to give you more and more videos in the future. Pokemon Go, Clash Royale, and even new games that I will discover along the road. So hopefully you guys would be here with me on my journey. And again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this deck, and clash on!